and welcome to another episode of Unima Talks with your host, SRackal. Today, I'm really excited to have our next guest on. His name is Richard Gomez. Richard Gomez is a Philadelphia-based artist, animator, and puppeteer with a soft spot and soft sculpture. Raised on Saturday morning cartoons, Richard is dedicated to making the surreal exist in physical space. And we're just holding on for Richard to jump in. Oh, now I hear you. Okay. Now I hear. How are you?
I'm good.
It's finally so nice to meet you and chat with you.
Yeah,
And
nice to meet you too, Sean.
And your lovely desk behind you. Do you like my beach?
Yeah. When I was in all my videos.
We're in the Caribbean, so I like to give you guys a peek of the beach.
That's very nice.
Okay, so on your episode of Unima Talks Trinidad and Tobago, we talk about puppets. We talk about what you like about puppets. We talk about maybe what you don't like about puppets. We talk about the things that inspire you to become a puppeteer, you know? And I've been wanting to talk to you and connect with you for quite some time, honestly, because I see your work and it's so, as I always say, your work is so pure, and I love seeing it. To the start, and how are you?
I'm good. Thank
You're good. Okay,
you.
I see you have some cool puppets in the making behind you there.
Absolutely. Here's one of my more finished ones. This is a 2.5 dimensional puppet.
Uh-huh. 2.5. That's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah. So I put my hand straight. It's actually facing like this way,
Uh-huh.
but it's meant to mean when you're bending your hand like
Okay.
this way.
So you took the whole side view of the Muppet thing and just turned it sideways.
Yeah, exactly. So, like a living cartoon.
That's actually really creative though. Like I would never think to do that kind of a sideways situation. Oh, so it's just like a regular Muppet head built kind of sideways.
Yeah, kind of. It's actually carved foam, which I don't always do, and it's nothing. I made this a while ago,
Okay.
but
Okay.
it's just because he looks so strange.
Okay. So I ask boring questions like, what inspired you to become a puppeteer?
So what inspired me to be a puppeteer? Obviously, like you can tell, I'm very heavily influenced by Jim Henson's work, but I think what really jump started my journey was the first puppets I ever saw.
Mm-hmm.
And the first puppets I ever saw, I was raised in Washington State,
Mm-hmm.
in the U.S. So that's in the West, and there was a city, Seattle, and we'd go to Seattle and we'd go to the place market, which was just like fish market and such.
Yeah,
For the fish, you've probably seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But at that market, there was a local puppeteer named Rob the Arc. He's still puppeteering. He's still active on Facebook and Instagram as the Pike Place puppeteer, and he made these really simple popsicle stick puppets, and he did these puppet shows. And those are the first puppets I ever saw.
Okay.
And as soon as I saw those, I realized you can make cartoons move, and you can do them. And that changed my life, seeing those puppets.
That's pretty awesome. Like to know that, to see like something live like that inspire.
I'd never seen anything like it before.
And what's his name again?
Rob the Arc. That's ROB.
Okay.
Apostrophe AR.
I'll look it up. It seems popsicle stick puppet seems pretty, Yeah, amazing.
They're great.
Okay.
My cardboard tube puppets are definitely inspired by him.
Yeah. So, I was just gonna ask, like, I saw the trajectory, like the couple of years that I've been following you in the work you've done. And I always tell everyone, like, it's very reminiscent of vintage or the original Henson bloodline of stuff, like I see those footprints there. I mean, and but still there's a lot of you in that, like that's become your style, because it's something that the company has stepped away from a long time now. And like, talk about that. Tell me how that, like, that imagination situation happens, because it really does, speak in that simple form of what the Muppets were, you know?
Hmm. Well, I think when it comes down to it, I think a huge part of it is that not to like compare myself to Jim Henson, but Jim Henson was a person who didn't necessarily mean to get into puppets. He
Hmm.
just wanted to be on TV. He just wanted to
Hmm.
make stuff.
Hmm.
And I identify with that a lot. So whenever I make something, you know, the character comes first because
Hmm.
I started as an artist, as a cartoonist. So
Right.
everything I made, I design and draw out first. Um, like this is a puppet of Don Quixote I'm working on.
Wow.
So I would draw that
Uh-huh.
and I think about how it would look as a rod puppet.
Okay.
Um,
Is it like
so
paper mache or
it's
something?
huge. It is paper mache. This is a paper
Um,
mache puppet.
okay,
Pretty
okay.
sure it's coming out so
Yeah.
it's scaled clay, I believe.
Hmm.
That's a good example of something that has a lot of personality,
Hmm.
but
It
it's
does
not
actually.
necessarily, you know, like a Muppet.
Hmm. Hmm. But I mean, I've seen other stuff that you did, like, and it's true. And you said something funny just now. You don't like to compare yourself to Jim, and it's if I mean I'm sure you know this. You know his intent was to be on television, but he was actually a really
Yeah.
good cartoonist. You know,
Right. He's
you know
got
he
great.
he was a
Good
really
part.
good cartoonist. So it still
Yeah.
speaks that and it's great that's what inspires you. Because it inspires all of us. We all we all do the same things or similar things because of Jim and his
I
and
really
his
think
work.
I think we got lucky that Jim Henson chose puppetry because
Yeah.
he really could have chosen anything. Jim
Hmm.
Henson could have been like a brilliant. He was a brilliant animator, and people
Hmm.
don't talk a lot
Hmm.
about these great animations. He
Hmm.
could have had a whole career as an animator, a whole career as a director,
Hmm.
not even doing puppet work, but he did find an attachment to puppetry that I think we all got pretty lucky with.
Yeah. He could have had a really good
Um,
career as a
he-
carpenter too. Have you ever seen some of his sculptures and stuff
yeah,
that he's built?
yeah.
Yeah.
He's got some great ones. My favorite was his dollar, if you know that
The
one.
almighty
It's
dollar.
literally
Yeah.
yeah, he made this plaque for a
I saw it.
huge
Yeah.
grill. It's
It's in Lisa Henson's office on the LA lot. Yeah.
oh, that's great.
Yeah, and
Oh,
the
that's
the
great. We
desk
still
the
have
desks
that.
that they have in there too are stuff that he built. They said that he built those things for himself. So
Oh
he
man,
and he
that's
was like
great.
an amazing carpenter too. But this is not about Jim. This is about you, man.
Yeah,
Okay. So
I
tell
don't
me,
even know.
tell me more. Tell me more. After we saw the puppets at the fish market. Tell me, like, what next? What did Richard Gomez do next?
Well, it was very, it's a childhood filled. I feel like most childhoods are filled with puppets, like at
Uh-huh.
least a couple. So there
Uh-huh.
were, marionettes and little hand puppets that definitely inspired me.
Uh-huh.
Learning how to make these characters, these little cloth things into characters that move and talk.
Uh-huh.
And then when I was 8, I watched the Muppet movie with my dad for the first time.
Uh-huh.
And that definitely like changed my life. Like it was like, whoa, oh, you can do so much with this. Like, look at them. They're like real people.
Uh-huh.
Like, look at what they can and they can mean so much to so many people.
Uh-huh.
Uh, so that definitely inspired me to I want to do like that same thing. I want to connect with people.
Uh-huh.
So puppetry is a great tool to connect with people. There's
Uh-huh.
something about it's the human element to it, I
It
think.
is. Uh-huh.
Um, and it's abstraction. It's simplified, but it's still it like because of the way your hand moves, it still breathes. Like
Uh-huh.
there's something that can be uh made with like AI or
Uh-huh.
machine the same life that you can give something.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's about it. And then flash forward some years, I made puppets as a kid. I was never like great at it. I learned how to sew when I was 12 years old. And then in 2021, I think I was 17 or 18, and I decided I really want to get into this because it was
Uh-huh.
the end of quarantine and I was trying all kinds of things.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, well, let's try puppets. So I
Uh-huh.
made my first real puppets and I sewed them from hand and I put ping
Uh-huh.
pong balls everything else does. And they really resonated with me for some reason. I don't know
Hmm.
why. It's probably the same stuff I talked about before. Was I love puppetry because it's like a moving cartoon. Like
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
moves on its own
It does.
gratification. You don't have to spell and animate.
Hmm.
It just comes to life. And I know you know what that's like because you're a
Yeah.
puppeteer.
Hmm.
It, it really is magical.
Hmm.
Um, and I kept on doing that, and people kept on like watching and sharing what I did. And I think it just motivated me to keep going. So that's where I'm at right now.
Okay. So that's fairly recent. Like you said that during
Yeah, it
COVID. So
wasn't that long.
that's
I really,
that's like 3 years, 4 years ago, right?
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, before that, I really thought like my career would be illustration
Uh-huh.
or animation or graphic design. I didn't really think about puppets that much.
Okay. The journey has just begun then in being like a
Yeah, yeah.
puppeteer professionally.
I
Wow.
just
That's
didn't
pretty
think
cool
about.
though. But you know something funny? I could say the same thing about myself, you know. I
Yeah,
it's during quarantine is when I got kind of serious about being a puppeteer and like pursuing things. And I think quarantine did a lot for us having us being by ourselves, you know.
yeah, totally.
Yeah. Yeah. And we had to find ways to entertain ourselves, and that was it, puppetry,
Yeah, yeah,
you know. So through that time during quarantine, you would have honed your skills. You'd have started building stuff and designing. And I've seen so much, like so much of the stuff that you did during that time. And um, I've seen your puppets on a lot of things. Like I've seen people using your puppets at festivals. I saw last year at the Puppeteers of America festival. There was a lot of your stuff. Like people were taking selfies with a frame that you made.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Me and it was
And
fun.
your puppets were like behind the scenes when at some sing along stuff. I saw like some of your stuff behind there. I'm not sure if all of them were yours, but I saw some of them. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
tell me that the experience of like being able to show your puppetry off to. I'm sure that some of the people there were really inspirational people to you. I know that there are a lot of people who who work from the Henson to Sesame Street to Disney around in those situations. Tell me, how was that experience? Being able to
the
connect with those people, you know?
yeah, yeah. Just in general, the puppetry festival.
Puppetry Festival, General. Yeah.
Yeah, the puppetry festival was a huge experience. I wasn't even planning to go to that
Hmm.
originally. I
Hmm.
was like, oh, that looks cool. I'll do it next time.
Hmm.
And then Heather reached out to me, and I was like, oh man, I can't like I can't say no.
No, you have to.
So I mean, yeah, you have to. I'm like, I
You have
can't,
to. Yeah.
I can't say no.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was ridiculous. So I packed my bags and I just went. Um,
Okay.
um, and it was energizing. Like it really set in motion again. Like sometimes you do something, you have an experience, but
Hmm.
it just solidifies. Like oh, this is what I was meant to do. Like
Hmm.
let's. It feels so good to like treat us like people. Um, and I definitely felt that. I was seeing all these people, all these names that I knew from the places, like Mike Hornell is
Hmm.
great, or Adam Gridinger, like folks
Hmm.
like that.
Hmm.
I've seen for years, but I never thought I'd like meet in person. I
Hmm.
even met a place puppeteer, Rob Dark, I was talking about
Hmm.
earlier. So
Hmm.
really, full circle moment.
Yeah. That's pretty cool
I
though. Like,
definitely don't
hmm.
be where I am without people like Heather Hansen has helped me out a lot in my journey. I'm really grateful to her.
Hmm.
She's been just a great friend and a great person to know. Um, I mean, there's just so many people like that I'm so grateful to.
Yeah. And that's the thing about the puppetry community. It's always an inviting situation. It's always something that includes everyone and tries to give you that
Yeah,
space, and I could I could I could believe everything you said that, Heather is somebody who has been very, very she's been very good to me in the same
mhm.
way like, that same way that she's been, helpful to you. Or she would say something like, you need to come and you have to go.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, she does that, and even Puppet Slam Network and all the LA Guild, really nice people who just want to help and who just want to see you do your best work and be your best. And I think it is really amazing that you've made those connections and that you're on your way, you know. I know you did some work with Monkey Boys. Are you still with them?
No, no, no. My contract ended a while back.
Oh,
It was a great experience. They're really great
okay.
people.
Okay, tell me about that. Was it like an internship or something?
It was kind of like, yeah, it wasn't dissimilar to that. There's not a lot I can talk about because
Oh.
of what we were doing. It's all like it was all NDA stuff. But the
Oh.
one thing that I did get to do, um, I was told like my first week of really building stuff.
Hmm.
Michael Latini was
Hmm.
like, build the cutest monkey you possibly can, which
Build
I
what?
don't know if that's a thing like people or if he just asked me. I thought it was kind of weird, but I just did it.
To build what?
So that's the one thing I can post from my time there is that I built a really cute monkey puppet.
Oh, okay. A cute monkey puppet. All right. So I mean,
Yeah, on my Instagram.
I understand that the NDA stuff and stuff, but like experience wise, was it like something that you learned a lot from or seeing what they
Oh,
did?
oh,
Because I know Monkey Boys does the work for SNL, right?
oh yeah, great
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
It was really inspiring to see, every single week like these amazing people making
Mhm.
something out of nothing. Like this just absolute great stuff coming in and out every week.
Yeah, and they
And
they knocked that out quickly.
just fantastic. Just
Yeah.
fantastic. They have to like they know what they're doing on Thursday night and
Hmm.
they or like Wednesday and they send it out
Hmm.
by like Friday night. Like it's insane.
And that's really amazing. And when you see the stuff that ends up on the show or the things that they do, you always it's always amazing to see that it's if it's
So
made in
cool.
that short space of a time, it's really good quality.
I've learned a lot about, like basic mechanics while I was there too. So now I can do like stuff like that.
Oh yes, I saw that you
Like,
you, you posted this guy with the mech, with the eyebrow mech. It's funny enough, I have
yeah.
never tried to make a mech before. I should try that.
Uh, well, this one's pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's my middle finger's up on a hook.
Oh yeah, and you yeah.
Actually, elastic up in there.
Okay, it's elastic. That's actually pretty. I would have
Yeah,
never thought to
yeah.
put elastic in
No,
there. A lot of people put springs in there,
springs,
but the elastic is a lot more
springs were
natural, you
fun,
know. Yeah.
Yeah, elastic I had on hand, so it goes right up to like his brain.
Hmm.
This is not
Hmm.
a fancy guy.
It's not a fancy Mac, but as Krupa says, if you standardize and it does what you need it to do, that's a Mac. You know,
Yeah, that's all.
that's all you need. And with that Mac, that's the basic premise for Gonzo's eyes too.
Right, right,
So there's the
yeah,
wonky. But Gonzo has like a wonky eye now. Like one moves
yeah,
independently, right? Did you know that
yeah.
that was a mech that broke
Right, right.
from the
Oh my God.
original puppet that Don Soline made or somebody else made back in the day? That the mech broke, and
Right,
they end up keeping it, as his thing now. What you got there?
right. This is a little. So I'm working on for a high school production of Legally Blonde
Oh,
right now. This is a little Chihuahua.
oh. So they're going to do a puppet chihuahua.
It, it's gonna be a puppet Chihuahua. Yeah, the ears are a little bit big, but this is the basic foam skull. You
Yeah,
can see all the little darts in there.
pretty. Those are actually really good sculpting.
Yeah, it's all flat patterning
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. It's
Which
really
I'm kind of
cool.
surprised by. I was able to do so well.
The
Um,
the minute you get those that foam patterning down, I think you're on your way.
yeah, you can really make like anything happen.
Yeah,
It's kind of magical.
cool.
I just kind of toss them back though.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
You have a really cool little workshop desk situation happening there.
yeah,
Though.
yeah.
I always look at it and I love it.
I don't know if you can zoom in, but you can see all the various little drawings that I
Yeah,
have on.
I like that. I like that you sometimes you would post a drawing of something that you're gonna make, and then when I see it in 3D, it's amazing. It's exactly what you wanted it to look like, and that's something that I admire. Like from design to yeah.
It is pretty magical seeing it like come together. I don't know if I don't have any specific things. Yeah, I had that Frankenphoto puppet I built, but what else is around here? This is something I'm working on right now. This is gonna be board puppet. So this is just the
It's
glove
gonna
for my.
be
It's gonna be a board of some kind.
but oh, okay, okay. All right.
It's kind of strange.
Yeah, and it's strange. It's cool.
Yeah.
I can see that becoming like a big bird style situation where you walk about.
Yeah, something weird like that. I
So you
always do.
design so you design puppets, you build puppets, right? Have you ever done anything performance wise? Have you ever done anything like in puppet slams? How's
You
that
know,
been?
I do a little bit of performance, mostly for like video and stuff like
Hmm,
that.
hmm.
I'm more introverted, so it's a little bit more difficult.
Oh, okay.
I'd say definitely as soon as you give me a puppet, I definitely get a little bit more out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I get at the puppetry festival, just kind of running around,
Yeah,
saying,
because I mean I saw a lot of it like from the video because I volunteered for the virtual festival. So I was doing the admin thing. So when the video feed comes to us, I would see you in the background all the time.
"Oh yeah, that's funny."
I'd see you around the background all the time with those puppets. And I was like, look at Richard go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just running around.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you mix up like what I love to do and the people that I love being around, I'm just like a fireball of energy.
Yeah.
Um, all over
And
the
you know,
place.
the puppets are a thing like that. Puppets make you braver than you think you are,
Right.
you know. You know what I mean? I'm not much of an introverted person, you know. I'm a people person in that sense. But funny enough, my only time at the O'Neill, that's in 2022, I couldn't find I couldn't find the courage to do a pub show because there's so much happening, you know, and it's exactly the opposite of what you said, you know, like you found that energy there and you ran with it and you were able to, you know, play around. Everybody asked, hey, are you not gonna do something at the pub? And sometimes I'd put my name down on that list and just never show up.
Yeah, yeah,
Just never show up because there's so much to take in situations like that, you know. So you know, like you're in a place, and you know you're seeing so many talented people. There's a saturation of talent there to the point that you just you just have to sit down and take it in, you know.
hmm.
Yeah.
I definitely do a lot of performance on on my Instagram
Hmm,
just for fun. Nothing
hmm,
huge. Done a
hmm.
couple of grades before, stuff like
Yeah.
that. But you know, not yet. Not, probably pretty soon in the future.
Hmm,
So keep
hmm.
an eye.
Is it something that you would like to pursue? Would you like to be
Okay,
uh
well,
a performer? Like, would you like to, you know, maybe go to an audition for a show,
definitely.
monitor
Yeah,
style puppet stuff? It's something that you see in the future, or do you
yeah,
prefer
yeah.
or do you prefer being like a designer and builder and stuff?
I definitely say I would like being a I like being a designer and builder first, but
Hmm,
I
hmm.
don't mind, performing. And performing your own designs is rewarding too,
It
because you
is.
know how to make
It is. It
things
is.
look
It is. You know what? With with my small operation here, you know, we do like kids' birthday party stuff, and I do workshops when people want a workshop and stuff. You know, I always see myself as more of an advocate than a puppeteer sometimes because I do a lot more of those things than I do actually get work done, as in like record a pilot for something or you know. So there are things you're good at and you're good at those things and sometimes that works for you, you know. And
right.
you know, like puppetry is such a broad thing to play with too, you know, like there's so much different places you can go. So, you know, you never know where it could take you, you know. And
Right, definitely.
you're in good hands because you know you have friends like Heather Henson.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's a hell of a friend to have. I always say that, you know, like
Yeah, right. I don't know how that happened.
I say the same thing too, you know. I really don't understand how that happened, but yeah. I
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
well again, you know, we both know, you know, that design that you did with Rolf the dog that I just loved and I decided to get that permanently put
Yeah.
on myself.
Yeah, huge honor. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's there, you know.
Right.
It's upside down, you know, but it's there. You know, I saw that on a t-shirt. Well, I saw you posted it, but I saw Heather was wearing it as a t-shirt. Um, was it for it was for Jim's birthday
That was for Jim's
last year?
book.
Last
Yeah.
year. Yeah. Right. So, I saw you guys did a bit of a celebration for that. Tell me about that. Tell me what was that like having
Yeah.
to.
It was great. It meant a lot to me. It was the second year we've done it.
Okay.
Maybe we'll do something like it again this year.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I don't know what I can say. It was I made a habit anyhow out of going to New York every September 24th to just
Okay.
like celebrate him. But
Okay.
I have some great friends and they've helped me get this great like little kind of yearly thing of helping out with like celebrating Jim. So this year I had this idea for like Muppet bombing. So I put little googly eyes, like
Okay.
little ping pong and
Mm-hmm.
pieces all over the Henson carriage house.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't for them to be there for longer than a day, but to my knowledge, they're still there. That was pretty funny.
They won't move things like that.
Yeah,
They
I
won't.
guess
They won't.
yeah, they're part of
Yeah.
the
They
performance
won't.
now,
Yeah.
which is
But
really,
but just
um,
yeah, go ahead.
but I we got to design a couple of buttons, and of course, the T-shirt was the biggest
Mm-hmm.
one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty awesome though. That's pretty cool. And it's cool to have your work, you know, some kind I mean, how can I say it? Your work kind of immortalized in that Henson legacy. It's kind of cool to have contributed to that.
oh my gosh,
That's
absolutely.
yeah, that's larger than life. You're living that dream that everybody else wants to at some point in time. That's cool. That's
Yeah,
really cool. Like that's amazing. Think about it. We got serious about puppets 4 years ago. 4 years later, you designed something that celebrated Jim.
I don't know what happened.
But it's
I've a
good.
fortunate person. I'm very grateful to
Yeah.
everybody who helped
Yeah.
me get where I am right now.
hmm It's cool. It's cool to see, like there's a lot of people who are Muppet fans. There are a lot of people who are Jim Henson fans. There's not a lot of puppeteers out there, if you think about it.
I definitely think there's more puppeteers than we think. I think,
Th- There's there, there's you might think so, but I'll tell you something. They call it 6 degrees of separation,
right.
right? So I think when people talk puppets, if I don't know them personally, I know someone who knows them, and this is
Yeah,
something and it's something that I think is with respects to the English speaking world, I think for the most of it, because that's as far as I've communicated. I mean, I've touched on non-speaking people in the like from the rest of the Caribbean or from like Kenya and stuff. But it's a lot of us because of like Unima and stuff. You get to meet people, and that's something really cool. Like connecting with places like Unima and they once you get involved with those things, it takes you places like you meet more people. There's always workshops or things to be done or things just to get yourself out there. And once they know you, and they're like, "Hey, we know Richard Gomez. He does this. He's
yeah,
there. If you need to find out puppet things, you can go there. You could
right.
take it to yeah. Because again, I always say the community is really tight knit.
Absolutely.
Hmm So let's get to some couple more boring questions.
No, well, yeah,
I like
absolutely.
I like to ask things like that just to kind of mix it up a little bit. Hmm. Tell me what's your most memorable puppetry memory? Like something that really resonates with you.
Oh wow. Okay, let's think. Oh gosh, puppet memory. Um, it's not like it's like a huge important thing or anything. But honestly, I have a baby brother. I have a brother that's 2 years old right now, and whenever I puppeteer for him, he just loses his mind. Like it's the greatest thing he's ever seen. And once I was puppeteering, like this dog puppet, and I just had him say hi, and he ran up to it and he was so excited. He waved his hands and he gave him a big hug and he stepped back and he waved and he gave it a hug again and he stepped back and he gave it a hug again. And it's just the greatest thing I've ever seen. How much he loved just seeing how much he loved the performance. He's not like a disorienting kid or anything. He's just two, but it's like that's the sort of reason like I do this kind of thing is for that. Even if it's just for one person. It means everything.
Hmm.
I realize that might not be like an interesting answer because I know
No,
I've had like
it is an interesting story because I'll tell you something. Kids are pure. Kids are, especially little kids, it means that it's real. It's real to him. He doesn't see his big brother behind that puppet. And that's the thing. And that's what puppets do. That's the magic that's puppets. Like people totally forget that I'm there. I sat,
absolutely.
I'll tell you something. I sat at a press conference with a puppet next to me,
Yeah.
like this for the entire time. Nobody said a word to me.
Yeah.
Nobody nobody acknowledged my existence next to that puppet, but that puppet was talking to people during the press conference and creating too much of a stir. But that's what they want. But I'm telling you, and that's the thing. It's just a puppet. He's here. I put my
Right.
arm on a chair and I had that puppet there, and he was just looking and nodding during the conference, and the woman behind him was tapping his shoulder to ask him a question and stuff, and he's like, he doesn't exist. I'm here. And that's just the thing. It's that pure. It's magic. And
Ultimately,
you said something just now. If it's just for one person and it brings that much joy, it just goes back to the whole thing. As they said, if just one person believes in you, right? Yeah, we're we're running low on time, Richard. So what
no
we're gonna
worries.
do, what we're gonna do, is we're gonna do. What's the plan for the future with you, Richard? What do you see yourself doing in the near future? Is there anything you'd like to plug in here?
I have some cool things coming up. So
Hmm.
lots of like little projects that are going to be coming up soon.
Hmm.
Um, Notably, I'm going to be doing some puppet workshops and puppet shows
Hmm.
in Philadelphia
Okay.
at the Philly Free Library. If
Hmm.
anyone listening lives in Philadelphia, just I don't know, check out the website probably.
Where's
Check
that
out Big
again?
Howl because I the Philadelphia Free Library in
Okay.
Pennsylvania.
Okay. Okay.
Check out Big Howl. It's a production company I work with often.
Hmm.
They love puppets. We love animals, so they're a
Hmm.
great fit for me.
Hmm.
Um, and just keep your eyes peeled. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming up soon. A lot of stuff I can't talk about.
Hmm.
Um, it'll be great. Whatever it is. Lots of puppetry, lots of animation, lots of music.
Okay. Tell the good people where they can find you on social medias.
You can find me on Instagram at Richard Michael Gomez. That's my main site.
Okay.
So
Okay.
check it out.
Okay. It was great having you. I had a lot of fun chatting. Um, you know, best regards and all the warm hugs and love from Trinidad and Tobago. I I
All the way
truly
from Philadelphia,
I I
United
truly I
States.
truly am inspired by your work. I look at it all the time, and it's something that's so amazing, and I really want you to know that, I mean, you can see how inspired I am. I tattooed your work on me.
Yeah, it means
That's something that,
a lot to me.
I have to. I always have to. I always tell people about that all the time. Like that's done by a friend of mine, and I love this design. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
If you could do tattoos, I'd probably would have let you do it on me.
Yeah. I have this Sabbath little board I just drew, the seven
Yeah,
step board.
yeah.
I've been thinking about getting him tattooed. Like he's a good guy to get
Which
tattooed.
which one is that?
The little board I just drew.
Oh
The
yeah, yeah. I like
seven
those.
happy.
Yeah, those are kind of cool. Yeah,
I want to get my grandparents now.
yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's post tattoo. Who
Okay,
knows?
Richard. It was really nice. Don't go anywhere yet. I'm just gonna pause this.
I'm Henry VIII, I am Henry VIII, I got married to the girl next door. She's been married 7 times before, and all of them were Henry. She wouldn't marry Dick or Sam. I am old Henry, Henry VIII, I am.